Welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Diaz.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Scott.
And we're keeping you in the loop with the guitar community. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into what's new. Chris, what's new with you?
I got nothing new this week. Had a computer go out on me, so that's kind of what's going on. So if podcasts sound weird, or my audio sounds weird, that would be why.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the group feed.
I think,
Hopefully.
it sounds better than it did last week on our end.
Oh, good. I don't know what changed.
Your will to live.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that went down.
Yeah.
I mean, Marissa's out of town, so, I mean...
Oh, yeah, she's currently on location eating dinner with Grant from Big Ear.
So,
not recording anything.
If you're in our Ultra Patreon level, which is basically whoever's paying for that dinner, you get to enjoy all of that content.
Wait, how do we get these people to pay for my dinner? Because I'm starving.
That's going to be me paying for that dinner, so... Yay, me on the Ultra content.
This episode is brought to you by Chris Carter.
Chris Carter's bank account.
Yeah.
Again.
So speaking of bank accounts, if you could pick any 16 digits and then 4 random digits
Do
and then
69 however many times you need to do that, so 8 and then
Classy. All right. Do you think your wife's not going to listen to this episode?
I'm gonna put money down on no.
So wait, does anyone here actually listen to the episode? I think Scott does.
Yeah.
I record it, so
Sometimes I listen to it. But I've actually gotten like really bad where I don't actually listen to podcasts much anymore.
it's kind of the same because
I'm having a hard
like
time
a
keeping up.
40-minute drive. I still don't listen to stuff.
I have a 0-minute drive now, so I barely... My podcast listening tends to be like stacked up from when like I'm on a train or
He
something.
barely has pants on. How is he supposed to listen to a podcast?
I still have pants on. They're just barely on.
Everybody knows you
What
have
are they
to
like
have pants
sitting
on to listen to
around your
podcasts.
ankles? Like you have to like scoot in your like office chair?
No, I'm just sagging my pants like when we were like 13 and everyone was like trying... Nah, never mind.
Yeah, let's
Boxers. You're like
yeah.
you had your Tommy Hilfigers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jinko jeans. Anyone
Yep.
here wear Jinko jeans?
Yep.
Oh, dang.
Going to get some
tell me-
Surge Cola and
They still wear them. It should be the
play some
question.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on my Nintendo 64, which
I still have that.
I might still have that.
I can
You remember
confirm
the
myself.
I'll be
First
back
level-
in 20 minutes.
Do you remember the first level of the first Tony Hawk? The
Yeah, I
hanger?
could beat it in one run.
The
Oh my
hanger.
gosh, the hanger was the bomb. Listen, oh my god, all right, so here we're not doing on the topic yet, but favorite Tony Hawk song.
Oh,
Listen,
so many good ones on that.
Courageous, Alien Ant Farm.
The only
That
one
was
I really
like-
remember is the
Was that Tony? I think that might have been Pro
That was
Skater
a later
2.
Tony Hawk.
That was Pro
That was
Skater
not
2.
one.
probably.
Yeah. Because they did Wish too, didn't they? In a later one.
All I remember Courageous was on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 because I think you got that level. You got. Oh, do you remember the level, the Foundry?
Yep.
That was awesome.
I think
What
I
was the
played
Rage Against
1
the
through
Machine
4.
song?
Guerrilla Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
Dun,
one.
dun, 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 dun. Yep.
You know, we spent like an hour and 45 minutes trying to come up with a topic for this episode.
We could have just
and
talked
here
about
it is.
video game songs.
Yeah, we talked about TV theme songs. We could have landed on video game songs. All right, let's see. Scott, what's new with you?
So I got my Stringjoy care package in this week, which included a set of, I want to say it's 60 to 13 and a halves.
Oh, good grief.
So I have a Schecter C1 Classic that I've been sitting on for a while, and I'm unwilling to sell it because those are woefully underpriced on the used market. And that was my main guitar for a number of years. I think I bought it when I was 16. So I slapped those on there, and now it's tuned up B to B, and it is a lot of fun to have a baritone around the house.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. It's surprising because I was emailing Scott over at Stringjoy about what would it
found my
take.
inner circle barefoot button. Sorry, I was going through this box by my desk, which will lead into my what's new, but my ADD kicked in because I actually posted that I couldn't find it, and Aaron Abubo from the Gear Slum offered to sell me his. Now I don't have to. Keep your dirty, filthy money, Aaron.
It's your money.
Oh, I'm keeping my dirty, filthy money. Maybe this is why I don't do so well doing sales on Gear Talk Classifieds. I'll give you $500 if you'll take this timeline. I'm like, what? I've never actually finished a deal.
So yeah, the Heaven and Baritone's been a lot of fun. I'm hopefully gonna get a little more comfortable with it, because even though I kind of run off Nashville numbers for the most part now, I don't really think in terms of like notes. I still got to kind of rewrite some muscle memory playing with it and see what I can do. So looking forward to playing with that. And then I used my Titan this morning at church, and it sounded glorious.
Oh, I bet it did.
Which pickup configuration did it have in it?
The standard with the 2 humbuckers. So it's I think they're Seth Levers from Duncan. Which, I don't know. The guy who had it before me messed with the pole pieces, so it's been kind of a struggle this week getting that thing ready to play. But yeah, now I'm in a happy state with it. So
Sweet.
Diaz, what's new with you, man?
I'm taking a picture and putting it on our Instagram.
We're audio only here, so
I know, but this is the new interactive Patreon edition. So
People are going to retroactively go back and recant their likes when they hear this on Wednesday.
No,
Exactly.
I want people to actually
go see
back
what it is.
and see what it is. Hold on, I found something besides my barefoot button from Inner Circle. But this week, what's new with me? I got internet, so that's most people are like, okay, they've had internet forever, but we cut out internet for a while, trying to cut down on bills. But so now I can actually post my audio, and this might actually help us be able to do Patreon stuff we've talked about, releasing episodes early, stuff like that, and that way episodes won't get posted late because I forgot to post my audio. So I mean, that's pretty much what's new with me. I found my Inner Circle barefoot button, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I was supposed to. Oh, dang, Chris! I was going to tell you I was supposed to do that. Buy those pedals today, but I had a little bit of trouble at work. So
The Valatin.
yeah, I've got to go Tuesday because tomorrow I'm recording an episode with Clifton Worley on his podcast
Of the Clifton Worley Show.
of Clifton Worley of the Clifton Worley Show fame.
Yeah, if he releases that on a Wednesday, this is all out war.
Oh my gosh, this could be in the past. I feel now. I know how time travelers feel, but let's see what's going on in gear news. Let's see. So ISP is releasing the Decimate mini pedal, which looks to be their Decimator in a mini form. So it kind of has that like Moore look and feel to it, but it is ISP has the best noise gate or noise suppressor out there, I'd say.
Oh, wait, aren't these the guys that have like the big silver noise suppressor? Or
Yeah,
am I
the
thinking of something
Decimator.
else? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big boy version of that one. This one. What's really cool about this one is it's a single knob pedal. So I think this will be. It's the same thing with like single knob compressors and a few of those kind of things. Like sometimes you when you get a first pedal and you don't know how all the functions work, and so like on a normal gate there's like threshold and like the rates of gates, like attack and release and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people don't want to have to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, you got the people who want the expanded version, and then you've got the people who just want a simple, like that's like overdrives. You got the people who want 3-band EQ, and then you got the people who are just like, just give me a tone knob, I'll find it, we'll be good. So I'm a tone knob guy, but
pretty much.
It looks like it's coming out in October. Sorry, we haven't seen a price on it yet. I think so. The ISP products are usually expensive. The decimators are pretty expensive. So I think they've got a decimator 2. Or they've got and let's see, that runs for well, those are all used, is about 115, but
so this might be sub 100 new.
I
don't think so. Those ran pretty expensive new.
The Decimator 2 new is $134, but they also have a $226 version called the G-String noise suppressor.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. No, they're all chrome. The Decimator and the Decimator 2 are
fancy?
Chrome. Let's see.
Then I want this one in chrome.
Really? I guess I shouldn't have gone. See, oh yeah, now that I've got internet as well, you get to hear my keyboard click. Not just me making noise, which I'm still going to make the noises.
Still doing.
Which I'm still doing, even though I've got the ability to do it. But yeah, for the most part, it seems pretty cool. I think it's going to be expensive. I think in the pre-app I said probably $199.99. It might be, or maybe $179.99. I think it's going to be between $150 and $200.
I'm hoping it's less, but
I'm hoping so too.
Because I've been wanting a noise suppressor just because we have really, really, really crappy LED lighting at my church, and so single coil guitars tend to hum.
Have you thought about getting like something to clean up the power, like a Furman?
Well, I'm already using a fully isolated power supply. It's the, like, when you go and stand next to the light, it's
actually the reaction with the pickups.
Yeah.
Oh.
So sometimes it's just finding the right spot to stand.
My Kemper, the Kemper has a really good noise gate on it.
Yeah,
so.
That's always been one of the reasons I think people, when they hop into a Kemper, they're suddenly like really wowed by them. Not to say that they don't sound good. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it is sometimes the first time they've experienced like a noise gate in their rig. Especially like if you're using a tube amp all your life and you have some older tubes, the amp just hums.
Yeah,
you get used to
and
definitely.
Not having that, you're suddenly like, oh my word, this is so clean.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's why like a Helix or a lot of those kind of things, if they're not they have a proper gate on it, or like when you're modeling, you don't have that background hum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not 60 cycle hum, it's something else. But
this episode is not brought to you by 60 Cycle Hum. They did not pay us.
Yeah, actually, we paid them.
Yeah, they still haven't mentioned us.
Diaz, why are you negotiating these things? It's like your gear talk. It's your gear talk negotiations, all in our sponsorships now.
We'll pay you.
So if we give you $50, can we talk about you?
Cease and desist letter coming this week. All right. So yeah,
it looks pretty good.
I want one of these. That's what I'm saying.
You think
and I want to put it under my board.
What's the price break? What'll stop you from getting it?
I'd really love to find something around the $100 mark.
Oh no way.
And I'd be willing to go used, which means I'm gonna have to wait like 6 months before these hit the used market.
That thing's never gonna be $100.
Yeah, but I was looking at like the Donner has like
Mower or Donner probably has one.
Theirs is like $40, but I don't know.
I don't trust
want
their
something
stuff.
a little bit better. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. Or if they need a review, email us at theeffectsloop@gmail.com. I would be happy to take that.
Is ISP an American company?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I was just because we could do international deals. But anywho, also Outlaw Effects has new pedal boards.
Yeah, the Nomad series.
So Outlaw Effects, didn't they have like mini pedals as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
they had
their
a
main
whole
thing.
They had a whole booth at Summer NAMM this year, and I didn't get a chance to really spend any time there. Still a
They're
little
from
bummed.
Montreal. You ever go there?
I have not.
Hey,
Kind of snooty of you to think I was talking to you. I could have been talking to Chris, but okay.
I answered as if you were talking to both of us, and I spoke for myself only. Why'd you assume that I was assuming for Chris? Diaz.
I don't know.
don't Diaz explain it to us.
Oh gosh.
That should be another Patreon content. Diaz
Explaining.
So this pedal board's not super small, but it's not super big. And it's got things for you to plug it into. And it keeps your pedals lighting up. And apparently in the picture you don't have to use patch cables, so it must run the sound through the board.
Oh, that's sick.
That's a neat feature.
Apparently, there's no Velcro needed either. If I'm seeing this right.
No, that's a low profile magnetic tape.
Oh, so they're putting magnets in their pedals now.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Oh, those are their pedals.
Okay,
in
let's
the
get
picture.
serious about this. What?
Yeah, so the board's coming in two sizes, both of which pack a battery with a 4,000 plus mAh capacity, spanning a range of
nice.
voltage options. It's going to have 7 9 volts, 2 12s, and one switchable 18 to 24 volt.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 volts. What runs on 24 volts?
Something vintage. I'm struggling to remember it right now.
So it's got about 10 hours battery life and a 3-hour recharge time. So that's not bad.
That's a really good recharge time, actually.
Yeah.
So it looks like the sizes are, you've got like almost like the pedal train Nano, and the other one looks about twice as big.
Okay,
Looks like
so
they just like welded two together.
like, here's my question on this though. Can you actually like leave it plugged into the charger and run it like a normal power?
That will probably be noisy.
Probably.
Because like most of those kind of lithium, because like the Volto is really the most comparable thing to this, right?
Yeah, because that's a
pedal train.
lithium ion battery as well.
Yeah. I don't believe you can use and charge that one at the same time.
That would be problematic.
Okay, so the thing that like I just kind of don't like about it is do you think it's like isolated? Like, or do you think it's going to cause problems?
No,
Or because it's running a battery, it's isolated, right?
It's again, comparing it to a Volto. I don't think it's there's no transformer in it, and each one gets a different tap off the transformer like you do with like the traditional Voodoo Labs or equivalent, you know, your Walrus, your True Tone Pro, any of those kind of things. It is a battery together. But you're not going to a switching power supply, or you're not going to a true ground. So those tend to be quieter than like using like a one-spot daisy chain.
Okay, that's cool.
My only concern with it is I don't like things hanging off the edge of my pedal board on the back
Yeah,
where the plugs are.
I avoid that as much as possible.
So the easy solution to that is you just put your pedal board backwards in the case. So when you stand it up on edge,
this is a
it's not
lower
resting on
profile than a pedal board with the Volto.
It looks very comparable to like a pedal train Nano. I know I feel like it's not fair to them to keep comparing them versus pedal train, but that's like the size everyone knows.
Yeah.
So it looks like about the size of a Nano Plus.
Well, here's the thing I don't like about it too is, yeah, it looks low profile and everything, but those cables coming around the back, and number one, those cables, if it's that low profile, there's not gonna be room to like tuck them under anything or attach them to the board. So there's probably gonna be a lot of dangling. I just feel like it's gonna be like a rat's nest underneath.
I mean, if these are hollow bars, it might be okay.
No, that's where the battery's got to be, right?
At least in the first row, I would think.
Yeah, but that's where they all connect. So hopefully, I don't know. I think it'd be a kind of a rat's nest. Like that's starting to creep out of the side.
They've got a decent foot on it in the photos, and the same way you cable manage anywhere else, where you just gather it and zip tie it, or you do the stick-on zip tie anchors. That would work on this.
I don't think I like it. I wonder what's the price point on this. Did they list one?
I'm trying to find.
$159 to $179. So cost-wise, it is also similar to basically a pedal train with Volto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely cheaper than
not exactly,
having
but
regular power supply.
Let's see. I wonder who did this video, because they've got a Fuzzrocious, the Typhon, whatever it's called.
Nice.
From Tone Mob and Fuzzrocious.
They've got some nice pedals on that board for sure.
Yeah.
So I go check them out. Outlaw Effects. I think again, if you're looking for a starter board, I'd rather have if I could go back in time, I'd rather have started here with something like this than
this would have been cool.
The SKB thing that I wound up having.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on because we can only talk so much about pedal boards, unless they're creation pedal boards.
We could talk about them all day.
Yeah, we can talk about
that was
all
a
day,
free
John.
one, John.
Yeah, John. First taste free, charge for the rest, buddy. So we're gonna Billy F. Gibbons Seymour Duncan's introducing the Billy Gibbons Red Devil pickups. So Billy Gibbons is known for the pearly gates. Those are amazing pickups, but those are humbuckers. So he was looking to recreate his legendary 59 humbucker tone, but in a Strat size single coil route. So Scott, you said that these are going to be competing with their own hot rails. You think?
Yeah, I think a classic thing we've all seen is periodically people are like, I want a humbucker in the neck, or sorry, humbucker in the bridge on a Strat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so you see some really bad, you see some really bad routing jobs, or you see them buy a hot rails and throw it in. The demos of these sound fantastic.
They look funny.
That's what you always want, is like when you want a humbucker, you want a PAF sound. For the most part, there will be the centers, but I think this could really, I wouldn't necessarily go 3 of these in a Strat. But I definitely think that market of, I want a humbucker in my bridge position, this is creeping to the top of the list of something to go look at.
All right, I've got an idea. Strat guitar. You got one of these in the bridge. You've got a Strat pickup in the middle and a Tele neck pickup.
I mean, that would cover like a lot of bases.
If you were in some sort of alternate universe or maybe a parallel universe series, Fender, do this.
Let's not bring that up.
So are these like coil splittable, or are these like just strictly like straight humbuckers?
They're 4-conductor lead wire for multiple wiring options.
Okay, they're splittable.
So, and vacuum wax potting for squeal-free performance.
No, thank you.
What, you don't use potted pickups?
Well, okay, so I actually tried to wax pot my pickups in my Tele, and I think I put way too much wax. I don't think I did it right. But they sound, I don't have much
Some
squeal.
of us are more punk rock and we don't mind the squeals.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was watching, dude, I was so mad the other day. I came across a Green Day. It was live on SNL. And I was like, I'm going to tag Chris. And I realized Steve Conradi
he beat you to it.
And I already did it. I was like, son of a biscuit eater. So, those look good. I say try them out, see them. They're honestly, they're probably going to be kind of like the pearly gates, where they'll have a high resale value. So,
we'll see. I mean, that Strat, a humbucker in a Strat position is kind of something a lot of people they try and then they toss it,
Dude, I always wanted a Strat with a humbucker in the bridge, and that's strictly because of Mick Mars from Motley Crue. Dude, I love his Strat, It's got a Floyd Rose with the locking neck. It's killer. I was just watching a video of him, I think with Ernie Ball, maybe him playing. That he's an underrated guitar player in my opinion.
That'll be a topic for another day.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on to our next item. One Control launches the Jubilee Red amp in a box. So, who was it who knew about these dang Jubilees?
Chris knew more than I did.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a toss-up on these. The Jubilees, I think Scott said that they were... No, that was us talking about Slash of what he used.
Yeah.
But I think the Jubilees were kind of a predecessor to the 800, 900 series, if I remember right.
Yep.
Sure.
So,
or their press release says it's an extension of the Plexi JMP series of amps, but
okay, then yeah, that's definitely predecessor and more classic Marshall sound, because a lot of people don't consider the 800 and 900s canon to the Marshall line.
Oh, so when Disney buys out Marshall, they're gonna throw out all of it.
Yeah,
and then slowly reintroduce it in a different way.
The Little Mermaid is not going to be related to Elsa anymore. It's going to be...
I want my money back.
But yeah,
so
overall...
They collaborated with Bjorn. Okay, so he's from BFG. Or BJF, I'm sorry.
Bigfoot?
No,
something? Is that the pedals? Or is this a band?
No, BJF. It's Barefoot Designs. The guy who does Barefoot Designs and BJF. He has the Honeybee Overdrive, the pale green compressor.
Those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Bjorn Jewel. So, I thought it was Bjork when we were doing the pre-app. I was like, why is the chick with the swan dress doing guitar pedals?
Yeah, I at least listened to the demo of this thing. It actually sounds pretty sweet. Probably one of the better Marshall in a box tones out there, especially for a mini pedal.
Why does it seem like every pedal builder, it's like they've got their fuzz, their overdrive, and their Marshall in a box?
Because nobody wants to go out and buy a 100-watt Plexi and then have to deal with the sound guy constantly telling them to turn down.
Okay, but all right, so most people use amps in a box in front of another amp.
Yeah, it's interesting how a lot of people don't use them as a preamp replacement.
No. It's not like they're running that and they're running a cab simulator and that's how they're getting their tone.
Yeah, it's sometimes they don't sound the best running them that way too, because I did that with another Marshall in a box and it sounded better going through the whole front end of the amp than just the power section.
Here's my question though. Every pedal put in front of a different type of amp is going to sound different. So you put a Princeton tone in front of a Fender clean, it's going to sound one way. You put it in front of a Vox clean, it's going to sound another way because of the amp's coloration. So how can you got these amps in a box, they're going to sound totally different in front of different amps anyways if you're running them that way. So I feel like it's just I feel like if I wanted to really know what it sounded like, I'd have to figure out what the pedal builder was putting it through.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are it's Hot Rod Deluxe.
Probably.
That or was it Brian Wampler uses Port City? I think they've got the Wampler Bravado now, but I know one thing he always played through, I think, was a Port City amp, because he said it was one of the it was a flat amp. It didn't add a whole lot of coloration to what he was playing with. It had a good overall sound.
Nice.
But I always thought that was my biggest thing with amp in a box pedals. I just never understood that. It's gonna sound different in front of different amps. So that's if I play with two different profiles, it's gonna sound totally different.
Yeah, it's also interesting because there's this last week has been a rash of all the YouTubers talking about the Metal Zone, and I don't want to spend too long talking about it because I'm kind of tired of it.
Oh my gosh.
But a lot of those guys were using those as a preamp, and that's how they actually got a good tone out of it. Whereas you ran it in front of the amp and it sounds like a bunch of bees. buzzing at you. So suddenly you
Yeah,
get this awesome tone.
I own the Metal Zone.
I went looking just just for fun. I was like, all right, if I can pick one up for like 15 or 20 bucks, I'd do it. And prices surged in the last 2 weeks on Metal Zones.
Oh my gosh. So, quick. All right. So this isn't the topic. Random question though. What's an amp that you used to want, but now you look back and you're like, man, I'm glad I didn't get that?
Dual rectifier.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with a Mesa Dual Rec.
I know, but I want a Mark V now.
I want a triple rec.
But that's also like, that was the sound of the early 2000s.
This is true.
if you weren't doing like if you're doing Foo Fighters, if you're not doing a Rat in front of a Vox, you're doing a Marshall Dual Rec.
Yeah. Or at that time in my life and everything, I really wanted to be Mark Tremonti. So
okay, it's always cool to be Mark Tremonti.
It's nice that Alter Bridge has like been successful and like allowed him to be like a famous guitar player, because like I can't go around saying like Creed was really influential for me with a straight face anymore. But listen, like
if what is it? I'm 6 feet from the edge.
Yep.
That song, the intro, the finger picking. Dude, I don't know how many times I've played that in church. I really have.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get a knowing look from somebody who's like, he's playing Creed in church?
Yeah, the drummer. that's so our drummer Charlie, him and I are good friends, and we listen to a lot of like the different music. Everyone else in the worship team's younger than us, so like we listen like Marilyn Manson, crazy stuff like that. That's like our thing that we bond on. And our favorite game is guess the riff. I'm sneaking into a worship song. I've snuck in Velvet Revolver, Guns N' Roses, because I did the same riff just backwards. I've snuck in Smashing Pumpkins as a favorite today. The intro to that's a favorite of mine. I'm trying to think of some other crazy ones. And then Creed. Honestly, I always joke around, and whatever I'm listening to on my way to church, I'm gonna like sneak some of that stuff in. So he knows when I'm listening to Joshua Tree on the way in. He's like, dude, stop with the delay for one song, please. But yeah, and then oh my gosh, I don't even know where I was going with that. Dude, my amp, PVJSX.
I have no memory of this amp.
It was a PV amp, Joe Satriani signature. My friend John Hendricks had the combo, and I wanted the head and 4x12 because that's what Joe Satriani played. So that was pretty cool. I wanted that amp pretty bad. I was really heavy into the Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen stuff in high school, G3, all that stuff. So
yeah, I still really want to get a Two Rock Studio Pro.
John Mayer.
Yep. But now I'm at this like, well, if I'm going to have to spend $4,000 on an amp, might as well just get a Kemper with a profile of it.
There you go.
Yeah. I hate myself. I know.
No, the Two Rock would be great.
Yeah, that's one of those amps I don't know if it will be as magical on a Kemper.
No, it won't. I mean, I own a Kemper, and I'll tell you, it won't be the same.
I also know a guy who knows a guy who has all of John Mayer's Kemper profiles. So
when are you going to get those to me?
I need to make that connect.
Yeah, make that happen.
Yeah, one of my buddies plays shows with Isaiah Sharkey, so I wanna meet him.
All right, Chris, what's your amp that you wanted that like now you're like, I can't believe I wanted that?
Nothing's like honestly coming to mind, because like even back like when I was first starting, like okay, maybe what's the like big boy Fender amp? It's not the Princeton. No.
Dual reverb?
Yeah, the dual reverb. I think I probably wanted one of those like a while back. like when I first started, just because like
that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, but it's like I know for a fact that other than like bassmen tones, Fender's just not my niche.
Listen, Fender has like the best cleans in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that.
Marshall cleans suck.
Can confirm they're not the best, but
Marshall's weird too for me. Like I never want a Marshall sound. I like listening to other people play Marshalls, but I can't play Marshall sound for some reason. I just don't like it.
Yeah, so like if I had infinite money, my like main rig would probably be like a Plexi for overdrive, and then like a Vox head for like cleans.
I always wanted, when I first started off, I wanted to get like Marshalls and slave them.
Oh yeah.
Like Angus Young, because I was always like, I want that Angus Young sound, because that's the reason I picked up guitar, was Angus Young.
Gonna also mess with put a voltage regulator on it so you get the Australian voltage.
Yeah, what is it? The brown box is a voltage regulator that's good for that.
Yep.
And then they also have a pedal that emulates the sound of his wireless. So his because his wireless, he's used the same one for years.
Oh, it's a pretty lossy one, but it works.
Yeah, like it's
probably a lot of compression on it too.
I don't know what it is, but apparently like a guy got a hold of one and made a pedal out of one. It was this whole crazy thing. But well, that actually was kind of a good topic, which we got a little sidetracked in. But so Scott, what was our topic? Because I forgot it. We didn't type it in.
Worst thing to say to a guitarist, I think is what it was.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank God. Because we spent an hour and a half, almost 2 hours in pre-app, and my wife almost killed me.
I slept like 3 hours last night, and I've been up since 5 a.m.
I got to work at 4 to do inventory. It's just but so all right. So best thing. So let's start with best thing to say to a guitar player.
Or did we want to make it like best thing that we've heard? Since we're already like guitar players.
Yeah. For me personally, I think the best thing I ever like hearing is where someone comes up and wants to know how you played something.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. Like just being able to share what I'm doing or what I'm trying or one of those kind of things. I enjoy sharing. So like that to me is like the best compliment because it means someone wants to do what you're doing.
Yeah, that one I hate.
Really?
I don't like when people ask me how I played stuff or something like that, because I hate trying to describe it, and like I don't know, I'm not a good teacher. I found that found that out early in life. When it comes to guitar, I'm not a good teacher because it's really hard for me to explain what I'm doing sometimes. So I've got a friend right now who sent me a text and was trying to figure out how to play more gospel style, which I guess I'm better at it than he is. And like I was trying to explain it, and like sometimes I just can't explain it. But I like, one thing that I love happening or hearing is I like whenever another person comes up, and it's usually another guitar player because it's the only person who makes sense in the story, is when they when they say that they like your tone, and then they start like asking about like your pedal board, something like that. And like I like it being able to like talk gear. And like whenever people realize kind of what you're doing, or like whenever another musician's like, oh, that what the delay or the distortion or overdrive that you had on this song was awesome, what was it? And you're like, oh no, like you get to show like, oh no, it was this pedal and I did this. I enjoy that a lot. So that's one of the best things. Or like a compliment is like compliment your tone. So
Chris, what's the best thing you got?
The best thing I've gotten has been just after D Now, some like older guy came up and it was like, I really like the way you like sat in the mix, like you weren't overplaying, you were like feeling the needs and all that stuff. It's like, well, I'm glad somebody thought that, because I kind of felt like I was overplaying, but in a way, you get that like constructive feedback. So
you always get the good compliments after like you've been beating yourself up while you've been playing.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like there's nothing worse like whenever you're like playing and you're just like, man, I've just felt like I sounded horrible, or like that just like my tone sounded like mud, and someone comes up and they're like, it sounded really good today. And like half the time as a guitar player or as a musician in general, I try to ignore compliments because it's not that like I want to be like over humble, but it's the fact of I feel like if I focus on the compliments, it will get to a point where I'm just like, oh, well, that sounded like really good. And that's, you know, yeah, I sounded really good. And I don't want it to be like that. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm a person who just doesn't take a compliment well. Like, I have a hard time accepting them anywhere in my life. So.
Scott's like arguing. They're like, no, you sounded great. You're like, no, I messed up the fourth bar in the third song.
Oh, dude, I missed an entire intro of a song that I was supposed to do today because I didn't have my in-ears plugged in and didn't hear the cue. So
that intro sounded like, great.
Yeah, and it turns out, you know, that honestly, that was a better way to intro the song because we're coming right out of the sermon and like it's a guitar riff to enter the song and I wasn't feeling it anyway. So then we had like everyone just vamped and went in, and to me that was a better way to intro the song anyway. So it was a happy accident.
There was a song we did one time.
Thank you, Bob.
That Ross. I had the intro to, and it usually, you know, like when I come from a charismatic church, so like when we're starting off, there's usually like we're playing some sort of music, stuff like that. So you know what key you're in. But the one freaking time. And I don't think it's ever happened again. That they're like, we're going to do a dry start, and you're just going to come in with the intro. Half a step down. I started the song a half a step down, and then the band came in, and I heard it, and I slid up really quick, and oh my gosh, the pastor just looked at me like, nah, dude, you messed that up.
I've had that where like we did all the songs in B, and the last one was supposed to be in C, and you know whoever's playing acoustic guitar didn't move their capo.
Nice.
And they started in B, and you see, I was in the back corner there, and I just watched the piano player just fold her hands and put them in her lap, and just go, well, I'm not playing.
Wow. I had oh man, I've had some doozies, but if you're getting a compliment, I don't like getting compliments from. I like getting compliments from other musicians. Because those are the ones that you can take to heart. Because I mean, if I see a musician and they don't do a good job, I'm not going to give them like criticism. I'm definitely not going to run up there and be like, "Oh, that was amazing, thank you." Like I can't do it. You know, I might be like, "Dude, that was awesome. You should practice it a little more." But I mean, I don't have any room to talk. I'm definitely not an amazing guitar player. So, but let's see, what's the worst?
So I think I've said this one on the cast before for me, is when people come up and tell me I did a great job playing bass.
And they call you Steve.
And they call me Steve. Just like,
you just yell at him, you're like, wrong podcast.
Oh crap, we owe them $50 again. Oh
gosh darn it. We need to renegotiate these terms. Yeah, I like the I don't know. The one that always gets me is when people come up and like it's their nice way of saying, "Oh, you were kind of off today, weren't you?" Like, they're like walking through, like, "Oh, you didn't get much sleep last night, did you?" You're like, "Why? What the heck is that supposed to mean?" I don't know. Those are always the ones like the backhanded compliments, like those like weird compliments that like you're like, I don't know. I don't think so. So they're like, "Oh yeah." Like it sounded awesome, and like you could tell that they don't mean it. Like shut up, Sharon. I know it was horrible.
Episode title.
Shut up, Sharon.
I know it's horrible.
Sharon.
Oh yeah, no, that way we get all the women out there to come and attack us.
Gotta be nope.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing. We're not getting on this. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. There's always like when people like make a comment like you're off or something didn't seem right. Oh,
it's like thanks for telling me that I did bad.
It sounded interesting today. Like, like that. That would be one. Like, oh, it sounded interesting today. Did you guys try something new? And you're like, no.
No.
Oh, I would spend the rest of my car ride home being like, what the heck did they mean by...
Yeah. They're like planting the seed.
Go back and
Like,
listen
just-
to the live recording, and
You're like, what? They're like, someone like just sends you a message. They're like, man, you sounded awesome at 24:31. And you're like, what happened at 24:31? You like run over to the computer.
sound man
pull it
muted
up.
you.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Oh, that's another person that's a good to get a compliment from is a sound guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's usually who I try to check in with them as much as possible to be like, hey, any notes, anything, you know, and when they're like, it sounds really good, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, my first week with the one I had the Plexi, I had to do that. It was like, is it good? Do I need to turn it down more? Because, 100-watt head in a church.
Yeah.
Not quite isolated.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it whenever the sound guy tells you to turn it up.
Yeah, I was just about to say that myself. I was just like, that's the
I've
best
had that happen
compliment you can
before.
get.
It's like, okay.
Hey, can you turn that up? And you're like, can I?
think
I'll turn the
like-
gain knob up.
Yeah, the one time I had that
like-
happen to me, I was running an AC 30 and it was already like pretty cranked. And he was like, I just need a
Lord,
little
that's
more out of you. It's like, okay. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. I can't say that much anymore because I run the Kemper. So everyone take a drink.
It's 3 at this point.
Three drinks deep.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to have my fireball here? Shit.
So what's like the worst thing you can be told, Chris? Oh my gosh.
See, I don't know if I've like just blocked out stuff or
Chris is like, no one's ever said anything negative about
yeah,
my
I don't
guitar
want to like
playing.
say that because it's like, oh yeah, I never mess up because I know I've messed up, but I think I also like I preemptively like with like certain worship leaders, I'll like preemptively be like, yeah, I know I messed up there.
You sounded like Billy Joe Armstrong after the rehab. Oh man, dang! It's not what
After
I
I
was going for.
smashed my junior on stage, I
Yeah.
so Kanye could
gosh.
have more time.
Does anyone even use iHeartRadio? What is iHeartRadio in the first place? Isn't it supposed to be like?
It's a collection of radio stations.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like
nobody
like Sirius
listens to radio anymore because we have Spotify and
podcasts.
podcasts.
And podcasts, Chris. We're on a podcast. Let's try to push podcasts like they're a thing.
Wait,
Ooh,
what?
we have a local WKNO station here. I should just like start ripping our stuff to CDs and just dropping them off like in the mailbox.
What if we can get on K-Love?
They wouldn't want that.
I mean, we could write a worship song, but like Chris Tomlin will cover it and get all the airplay. So
This is true.
Oh,
We'd have the Chris Tomlin effect
it's a
loops.
good song. It's what it is. But
The effect loop.
yeah,
Good father.
yeah. Dang. So,
Have
do
you
you have
ever-
anything else to say?
have you ever actually had somebody come up and say you sucked?
No.
My wife.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just kidding.
I don't think Jess has ever said that I sucked, but she has like, she's like, I could tell something was bothering you today. I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah,
I thought I was doing great. Okay.
yeah. I had one, but it was like so long ago. But
Listen, I've watched my old videos of me playing and definitely thought I sucked. I would have beat the snot out of me for playing some of the stuff I played.
I watch my current videos and think I suck. So I mean,
Oh, that's what people are like. Oh, do you guys have a live stream of your playing? I'm like, no.
Nope, not at all. Goes
don't
and
watch
deletes.
it. Don't watch it. Yeah.
Pastor's like, how come you don't ever share our live streams? I don't want other guitar players seeing me play guitar or hearing me play guitar. I really just don't want them to know I can play guitar.
I mean, you kind of have a public position where people know you play guitar, DS.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, I messed up.
I
I'm
messed
not
up.
doing the live stream videos anymore. So, but yeah, I think that wraps up our topic pretty well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, most likely. Oh,
Yeah, probably.
We didn't even get as distracted as we thought we were.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
So yeah, all right. So thanks for joining us. That was like the lamest like going into the outro ever. We weren't excited or anything. We're just kind of.
It's like we don't want it to end. It's because we don't want it to end, Diaz. We're sad that it has to end. Go with that.
We've only just begun.
We only began 4 hours ago. So.
Gosh. Yeah. We only got one episode done, too.
We started 3 hours ago.
All right. So thanks for joining us. Leave us a review on iTunes. Follow us on Instagram at The Effects Loop. Go to the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/The Effects Loop. Go to our YouTube. Email us at theeffectsloop@gmail.com. We also to smoke signals and snail mail.
But be careful where you do the smoke signals because there are fire bans out there.
Yeah, but we've got a P.O. box in Tucson, Arizona. So you can send it out there.
And somebody will pick it up eventually.
Effects Loop. Yeah. And so for the Effects Loop, I'm Diaz.
I'm Chris.
I'm Scott.
And we'll see you guys around.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Adios.
We are strong. We have to just keep pushing along. We are one. So let's come together, show 'em some love.
All right. Game face, guys. We can do this. We're professionals. Welcome to the Effect. God. Yes, America.
Divided we fall through the ages. This has been the serve of us all. Yeah. Don't hate, don't fear. We're strong and overcome. We are strong. We have to just keep pushing along. We are one. So let's come together, show some love. This song is not about race or politics, but the hate that resides in the hearts of men. Desperate times, calling desperate measures. So why don't we be desperate to love each other?
Let's erase hate from the dictionary. Why is negativity always drawn out? Pictionary, visualize love. Energize lives together. We undefeated. A plan to make weathers, no gloves needed. When we weed into the mindset of achieving and believing in a community that remains happy. Ever after, the world should be one. Hate annihilated, every heart is one. Love again. So
Don't bother hating.